Okay, welcome to this very special episode of the Uncut with X. So yeah, today we're doing a walking podcast. Something that I wanted to do because I think I've been wanting to walk for a long time. And this is a nice opportunity to just walk around and feel weird around people talking to my phone. So yeah, today's episode we're going to talk about the highlight of the week being Raila and Ruto joining together. So a disclaimer, or rather an apology, is you'll have to understand that the sound quality will be a little bit poor. Of course, I'm outdoors, so there are cars moving by, there are people doing activities, so that's a disclaimer. But I've picked a place where there's not a lot of things going on, so hope you enjoy this episode. Make sure you like, subscribe. I don't think I've said that, but yeah. So the highlight of the week has to be Raila and Ruto joining in. Of course, I did the last episode where I talked about Raila going to the people, and he said that he's going to make a decision after going to the people, and my speculations were right. They were so right, because I had speculated Raila Odinga to say that he'll support Ruto. I had also speculated for him to say that he's going to join with Ruto as well. So all that went through. So all my speculations were right, that he's going to say that he has gone to the people and discussed about joining with Ruto. So that also worked as well as we had speculated. So the highlight of the week is Raila and Ruto joining in, and this is a major move. Anyone who had seen how a lot of people were gathered at KICC just to witness that coalition. They're not calling it a coalition, but it looks like a coalition because Raila is coming in, and there are a couple of things that he's going to benefit, or rather ODM is going to benefit from that coalition. So let's just mention some few things that they had talked about that is in the MOU they signed. So first of all is the implementation of the NADCO report. So ideally the NADCO report is what they had done after the Gen Z protest. They had done a report where they brought a couple of people and they did a report on a couple of things. So they say that was the number one implementation of the NADCO report. There was also a couple of things. One of them is allowing people to gather and picket and protest. They also say that they're going to bring up some things that will favor the youth, which part of it is creating employment. And if you look at the things that they say they signed in that MOU, they were just basic things that any government should do. Let's take, for example, when they said that they're going to allow people to protest, because that is already in the constitution. It's not like they're going to do any favor. That's already there. It's already in the constitution, because picketing and protesting is a constitutional right, and everyone is allowed to do it. So them saying that they're signing an MOU over that was rubbish. They also say that they're going to favor the youth by creating more employment. Basically what they put in that entire MOU were things that they were just supposed to do. Any government should have done it without hands crossing, without two people coming together. And this was a big blow in the political scene, because this means that it's official, that it's UDA, ODM together versus probably the other coalition of Martha Karua, Rigathi Gachagua, Kalonzo Musyoka and the rest. So it's them versus the old ODM, that is Raila and Ruto. It's going to be hard for them, because simply the fact that Raila is a populist and so is Ruto. They're both populists. I can say they're the biggest politicians. Not even a pro-Ruto guy, but I have to say that they're the biggest politicians in Kenya. So it's going to be hard for anyone who tries to vie against the combination of Raila and Ruto. And I hear there are a couple of things that will be done moving forward, which is probably the amendment of the constitution so that Raila can get a position in government. Probably they're going to amend and create sort of a prime minister role that is more constitutional. The current prime minister role is not that constitutional because Mudavadi is just a minister or a cabinet secretary with a fancy title. Nothing amazing, just a cabinet secretary with a fancy title. But you see, what they're going to do now is they're going to create literally a constitutional position with more powers than the deputy president. That it was quite visible yesterday during the MOU signing. I mean, Raila Amolo Odinga was called before the deputy president. So if they're going to amend the constitution and give him the prime minister role, they're going to make him so powerful than the deputy president. He will be sort of second in command. And people are speculating this. I'm not sure if they're going to do it because it's quite controversial. People are speculating that if they amend the constitution to give Raila his position, they might also add a clause that allows them to lengthen the presidential term limit, and this will also lengthen the governor's term limit. It will also lengthen the I think everyone who is vying for an elected position, because it's usually 5. So if they prolong one for the president, it will be fair for them to also prolong one for every person who is elected. So this is going to favor them, of course, because politicians want long terms, and how they're going to get this is through the people, because such amendments can only be done through the people. It's limited to that. And if Raila, the way he's a populist in his regions, the way he's a populist, that won't be that hard for them to achieve. They won't be that hard for them to achieve. So if they do that, that's the disadvantage of doing this outdoor thing. Is this thing? There's a fly disturbing me, but it's okay. Regardless, we move. My train of thought. So if they pull that referendum, is it called referendum? Amendment of the constitution through public participation. I think it's referendum. So if they do that referendum where they want to change the constitution, and these guys are the two populists, both Raila and Ruto, they can manage to pull that off. Of course, they'll play their usual tribal politics. They'll control notions, and they'll somehow change that constitution to favor them. So that's also something that people are anticipating to happen. And what this means is, and I think I've already mentioned it in another video, that the prime minister, the current prime minister, and also foreign affairs minister will go back to his foreign affairs docket and leave the other prime minister role. It's okay. So that's also going to happen, and it's going to be an interesting scene. People are also speculating that Raila might get around 3 cabinet secretaries positions and a couple of permanent secretaries positions. So that is so easy for them to do, but it means that a couple of cabinet secretaries will be sacked, which means that a couple of cabinet secretaries will shift from government. So what these agreements, or rather coalitions, usually do is, so once there's an MOU or a coalition agreement, there are casualties in every coalition government. And some of the casualties in this coalition government are probably going to be Edwin Sifuna, Babu Owino, if he still wants to be governor of Nairobi, is going to be a casualty. And casualties are going to be on both ends. In the side of UDA, we probably know it's going to be Ndindi Nyoro. Those are going to be casualties, and these are the MPs allied to the deputy president. By the way, they were stripped of their committee roles. like Ndindi Nyoro. I think he was committee of budget. That is stripped away from him, and it's going to be given to a couple of ODM MPs. So yeah, there are a couple of casualties. Also, Peter Salasia, the MP of Mumias East, he did a video reacting and saying that he's not afraid of people saying that he'll lose elections. And he's right, because as an MP, you don't really need the president to win an election. And this is why I believe that the Raila Ruto combination might, let me go this route, I've never gone this route. The Raila Ruto combination might win a lot of seats. Let me walk quickly, this music might be copyrighted. So the Raila Ruto combination might win a lot of seats in terms of, might not win a lot of seats, but they might get the presidential seat. But when it comes to parliament and the Senate, the person who might win that position is this other faction that is forming. The faction of Martha Karua, Rigathi Gachagua, Kalonzo Musyoka. They might get majority in both houses, but when it comes to the presidential election, I doubt that they'll come even closer to winning that. So yeah, that's another speculation that people are having. Of course, Peter Salasia was one of the guys who left ODM even before anything developed. He's one of the guys who left ODM, and he has stood his ground, and yeah, that's going to happen as well. So this was a short video. I think I'm going to an interesting place. It's a nice view, by the way. So yeah, that has been the end of the video. I wanted to do that quick reaction. Of course, for today is Saturday, 8th of Saturday, Women's Day. Happy Women's Day to all the women. And something that is also going to happen today, or rather that is happening today, is Chebukati's burial. I know I'll get a few scenes from that, the Natembea and the Wetangula fights. So it's going to be an interesting time in politics. So yeah, peace out.